My grandfather was Canadian, you know.
Really?
Aren't you one too?
The grandfather?
What do a certain Mountie, mutant, and pop sensation have in common?
Brave Canada! Brave Canada!
They're not even a real country anyway.
They all come from a proud Canadian heritage.
We are Sex Bob-omb, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
Good day, I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh?
And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 fictional Canadians.
It's me. Prove it. You're a dick.
For this list, we're taking a look at made-up characters of Canadian descent that people around the whole world are talking about.
All this noise about Yanks joining the war, and I haven't seen one of them set foot on French soil yet.
I see.
This list is open to characters from any media franchise, as long as they're endearing, unique, and, of course, Canadian.
What's going on here?
What garbage?
Well, what do you expect? They're Canadian.
Number 10, Dudley Do Right, The Dudley Do Right Show. No list of Canadian characters would be complete without this jolly officer of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. First appearing as the star of a segment on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, Dudley bungled his way to his own series and a live-action movie.
Dudley!
The people Dudley Do Right encounters on his misadventures are all typical archetypes straight out of the silent film era. Including a mustachioed baddie, a damsel in distress, and a loyal horse.
Horse, it's so good to see you again.
Dudley himself is far from your typical hero, though. He's utterly incompetent, bumbling, and the last person who should have a position of authority.
At mess that evening, Dudley ate his peas with a knife, something no Mountie would ever do, and consequently was drummed out of the service with a dishonorable discharge.
Sheer dumb luck always rewards Dudley's good intentions, however, helping him to somehow always save the day.
There are two of us. The one you left tied up back there in the shack was my horse, in a Dudley suit. And here he comes now! Good work, horse.
Number 9, Anne Shirley, the Anne of Green Gables franchise.
Tell me what you know about yourself.
Well, it really isn't worth telling, Mrs. Cabaret. But if you let me tell you what I imagine about myself, you'd find it a lot more interesting.
11-year-old Anne Shirley is both the youngest Canadian character on this list and the oldest. First appearing in Lucy Maud Montgomery's 1908 novel, this red-headed orphan's celebrated story was adapted into an Emmy-winning miniseries several decades later.
Are you killed? Just say one word and tell me if you're killed. No, but I think I've been rendered unconscious.
Seen as an outcast due to her gender and gritty appearance, the fiery Anne reveals through her nerve and smarts that she's years ahead of her time.
Catherine Brooke, whether you know it or not, what you want is a darn good spanking.
Must have relieved you to say that.
Her unbreakable spirit not only made Anne of Green Gables a significant tale of feminism, but also one of the highest-rated programs in Canadian TV history, too.
Aren't you worried? I'm liable to break another slate over your head.
I'm more worried I might break one over yours.
Number 8, Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles, the Trailer Park Boys franchise.
Home from jail. Yeah, got out today. Who's this guy? What am I on the TV for? I'm just doing that little documentary thing, you know. How are you doing?
This band of Canadian lowlifes from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia's Sunnyvale Trailer Park is led by Julian, whose countless get-rich-quick schemes traditionally backfire and occasionally land him in jail. His partner in crime, Ricky, shares a mutual love for alcohol,
I still have a drink.
dope, cigarettes,
Smokes, let's go.
and stealing. The voice of reason among the Trailer Park hooligans is Bubbles, a shed-dwelling man with a love for kitties, liquor, and, egg rolls?
Friends stick together even if they get around or one of them forgets to buy the guy egg rolls.
Although their lives might be a never-ending cycle of incompetence, their antics have still made them comedy icons and Canadian icons.
That's lies, Randy. I've seen you drive 15 cheeseburgers into that thing in one sitting.
Don't pay any attention. You're beautiful, Randy.
Number 7, Red Green, The Red Green Show. Few Canadian characters have been as enduring as Steve Smith's Red Green. appearing in 300 television episodes, a movie, live tours, and even his own newspaper column.
A lot of the power tools come with a button on the side so that you can lock them in the on position, but I wouldn't advise it.
Normally wearing a plaid shirt, red and green suspenders, and a hat, this handyman hosts a show from Possum Lodge, where he acts as lodge leader.
You don't need lessons, just join right in, but it helps if you're pretty well hammered.
Red's ability to think outside the box usually amounts to contraptions that are equally inventive, funny, clunky, and ingenious. In addition to being handy, Red is full of profound insights, notably sanctioning the inestimable worth of duct tape. Number 6. Terrance and Phillip, the South Park franchise.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have two adorable little boys from Canada. Please put your hands together for the music of young Terrance and Phillip.
In terms of physical appearance, there isn't much difference between Canadians and Americans. In the world of South Park, however, Canadians are distinguished with hollow black eyes and flappy heads.
Your face looks like somebody tried to put out a forest fire with a screwdriver.
Why? Maybe Matt Stone and Trey Parker just thought it'd be more offensively hilarious. Canadian comedians Terrance and Phillip parallel Matt and Trey in many ways, often getting in hot water with censors for their controversial brand of humor.
Terrance and Phillip are two very untalented actors from Canada. Nothing but foul language and toilet humor.
No matter how hard others try to silence the duo, however, nothing can stop them from lighting their arses on fire.
Shut your face, Uncle You're a cocksucking ass licking Uncle You're an Uncle Yes, it's true, nobody goes quite like you.
Number 5. Trevor Phillips, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Next time, don't get in my face! I just saw a ghost and I gotta hear your crap!
This is one Canadian the North is probably glad to be rid of. Trevor Phillips demonstrates that drunken, psychopathic rednecks aren't solely restricted to the South.
Remember, there is only mass, fluidity, and incompressibility!
They come from all corners of the world, including the Canadian border region of America. This unpredictable criminal has committed acts of murder, theft,
You didn't fillet no one, but darling Debbie probably did.
and public indecency over at least half of North America.
You are the craziest chick I've ever met! I love you!
You're thin! You're irrationally angry! Nothing you say makes any sense!
His unapologetic lack of a moral code is what makes Trevor the most entertaining character to play as in Grand Theft Auto 5, and arguably the whole GTA franchise.
Look at me, I am a genuine government man.
Number 4. Scott Pilgrim, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
And speaking of which, I hear the girl that kicked your heart in the ass is walking the streets of Toronto again.
Scott Pilgrim might seem like your everyday Canadian slacker. He's naive, soft-spoken, and about as threatening as, well, Michael Cera. But underneath all that Canadian innocence is a badass waiting to be awoken. Edgar Wright's film adaptation of Brian Lee O'Malley's series of graphic stories reeks of everything related to comic books.
He punched a hole in the moon for me. It was pretty crazy.
Video games.
Here we go.
And Canadian culture. Toronto natives will especially appreciate the movie's subtle references to Second Cup.
So, what can I get you?
Pizza and Loonies and Toonies.
Sweet. Coins.
At the center of everything is Scott, who would take on the world, not to mention all of Canada, to win Ramona's hand.
You want to come with me?
Yeah. Thought maybe we could try again.
Number 3. Bob and Doug McKenzie, SCTV. With real-life Canuck Rick Moranis as Bob and real-life Canuck Dave Thomas as Doug, these Canadian beer-drinking brothers host a talk show called Great White North.
I'm afraid that's private company business.
I see. Well, perhaps one of these would refresh your memory, eh?
Their popular recurring sketch on SCTV pokes fun at everything associated with Canadians, including beer, winter clothing, beer, donuts, beer, hosers, and beer.
What the hell's going on in there?
Just getting your beer.
Bob and Doug are undeniable stereotypes, but they never come off as offensive or mean-spirited, which is also a stereotype.
Why not just put more alcohol in your beer and then you don't have to twist them all off, eh?
Right.
The McKenzie's biting satire touches on how others view Canadians and how Canadians view themselves. Their openness to parody their own people has turned the brothers into a cultural phenomenon.
Sorry I ralphed, babe.
You shouldn't have had that chocolate milk.
I know. Sorry about your sweater. You can take it out of my pay if you want.
Number 2, Robin Scherbatsky, How I Met Your Mother.
What the hell is this?
Oh, curling. It's a sport played...
Wrong. The answer we were looking for was, I don't care, it's dumb.
Robin Charles Scherbatsky Jr. is as proud of her Canadian upbringing as she is ashamed of her former life as teen pop star Robin Sparkles. I'm gonna rock your body till Canada Day. Although she settled in New York and virtually ditched her accent, she's still Canadian at heart, with a passion for the Vancouver Canucks and beavers.
2 beavers are better than 1. They're twice the fun. Ask anyone.
Her friends might make fun of her Canadian roots and rarely get her references, but nothing can break Robin's unrelenting homeland pride.
Ted, this hydro bill is bigger than Louis Sir's biceps. What, you leave the carburetor on all night, eh?
Also, be sure to check out some of her music videos. You won't be sorry.
P.S. I love you.
Before we take a trip up north to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
He's a protected, he's so thin. He sits all night and he works all day. I cut up trees, oh, where high heels, suspenders and a bra. I wish I'd been a girlie, just like my dear mama.
Now stop, you cultural stereotype. Having masculine hair doesn't make you a real man. It's what's in your heart that really counts.
Last week, I was just a street performer making $50 a day and getting memory loss from all the silver paint fumes, and now I'm...
He was your friend. You son of a bitch.
Number 1, Wolverine, the X-Men franchise.
Tonight's winner and still king of the cage, the Wolverine.
Wolverine is a household superhero name, but unless you loyally followed the comics, cartoons, and movies, you probably missed the fact that this mutant with razor-sharp claws is actually Canadian.
Forget it, Vindicator. You can send every mutant in Canada after me. I ain't coming back.
While it was tempting to include fellow Canadian mutant Deadpool here, nobody can top Wolverine. This character asserts that Canadians aren't all about good manners and curling. They can be just as cool, courageous, and kick-ass as any other nationality.
You asked me to come say goodbye. Sayonara.
Wolverine is the clear standout among a diverse group of X-Men, and this diverse list of Canadian characters.
Your country needs you. I'm Canadian.
Do you agree with our list? Yeah! Who's your favorite fictional Canadian, eh?
Is Scott here?
You know what? He just left.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
We're gonna crash, we're gonna be in the water again. Take off, we are not gonna crash, eh? There's no way I'll crash this. This is a beer truck, eh?